We live. I'm launching the Spreaker app. I'm launching everything right now. We're going to give y'all time to get in.
This is what I told him, and you have joined us in Gianni Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site, subscribe at tribe.GianniJourney.com.
Well, find it. You ain't got nothing but time.
All my brothers and sisters hold hands and guard your head. Let us pray. God stand up in the Congress, no Martin, brothers amongst the gods. How long will you serve them guilty and accept the praises of the wicked? I say, in the form of fathers, who justice to the afflicted and the needy, deliver the poor and needy, deliver out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand, that it's all wrong with them. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, and you have died, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men, and fall like men of the prince. Rise, O God, work the earth. God shall endure all nations. Allah Akbar.
This is Canal 6, and you are now listening to Gianni Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out where we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Ancestor, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gianni Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gianni Journey on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Ancestor, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gianni Journey Radio. You are now listening to Gianni Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy. This is Monica with Gianni Journey Radio.
This is really welcome to Gianni Journey Radio. I want to give a shout out to Silver Turtle, all my children nation out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I give a shout out to my dad for raising me and my family to be around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
You're listening to Gianni Journey Radio.
Peace, Hotel. It's Mansour Hotel, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity doesn't sound good. I think it sounds great. Right now, you're listening to Gianni Journey Radio. If you you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is what I tell coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gianni Radio. Shouts out to the Gianni tribe, Gianni family. Stand up, please. If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is what I tell coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gianni Radio. Shout out to Fitness Social. Stand up. You are now listening to Gianni Radio. Peace. This is Gina. And you are now Gianni Radio. Peace.
All right, family, I'm going to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty. This is Gianni Journey Media. This is Folktales for grown folks. Of course, now you know you're listening to a Heart of December production. Where you... What happened to strive to blow up your old paradigm? Paradigms are old. Family, I got a couple of stories, and then I got a little tape for you to hear. We already got Quaist on the line. He hot. Because listen. I put out the proverb early this morning. Those that listen to the show, they had the opportunity to go on and listen to it. And we going to come with the heat tonight, family. Straight wisdom mining. But I need to go on, and we got a couple of things we got to talk about before we get to the proverb. And it might even mess up the whole flow. But one, I want to salute one of the ancestors on my list, Montague Pittman there. I remember one time I was helping an elder who is now Ancestor. He's on the list as well, and I won't mention his name. Well, anyway, this elder needed help around the house. So when I was available, I would go and I would take one of the brothers with me, one or two of the brothers with me to go over there and help this elder in his house. This is when I'm straight, warrior phase, blah, blah, blah. I go to help the elder, and because he having problems with different things, and it's him and his wife, and they are up in age. I'm talking up in age. So him trying to help, because the elder wasn't broke, you know what I'm saying, and I don't know his financial status. Let me say this. The elder trying to help another young brother in the community invited another young man that was outside of our tribe to help him. So this dude comes to the house and start taking advantage. Start staying longer than he need to. Start eating up the elder's food. Start disrespecting the elder in front of his wife. And then finally he called my Baba. My Baba called Elder Nomo. And I got a call on an early morning. I remember it was a Sunday morning. I I gotta do push-ups. Okay. Yeah, I gotta do push-ups. You heard Gina G. They heard her in the background. It was early in Monday morning. I got a call from Nomo. And Nomo was like, Peanut. I said, man, stop calling me Peanut, man. You know you got an elder one. He could just... Why you calling me Peanut, man? Nobody ever called me Peanut. Shut up. He said, shut up. Listen, we got an issue. And I need you to handle this for me. I said, okay, what's up? He said the elder's name, gave me the basics of what's going on. He said the brother over at the house right now. I said, you mean a nigga? No, I don't necessarily like using the word nigga, but if you're going to use the word nigga, yeah, the nigga is at the house right now. It's all right. So I'm about 20 minutes away. So I call my brother. I say, Pittman, you remember the elder I took you over the house? He said, yeah, I remember that, brother, blah, blah, blah. You know, Brother Pittman was very few words. Brilliant when he did speak. Yeah, I hear you. I said, listen, I'm on my way over there. We got a problem with a brother. I'm on my way. All right? I said, okay, bro, you really don't have to come. I said, no, I'm on my way. So I leave. Brother Pittman is in that area, and by the time I got there, he say, brother, you ain't never have to worry about that man coming around here again. I said, Elder, you straight? Elder said, I'm straight. And one of the things that touched my heart about that was that in that moment, let me say this. I have always had to protect other people. Actually, I got sent away from Akron because I was interceding in other people's shit, and was sent to Columbus because I decided to sit out the first 2 quarters of school and start school in the spring. I had a full ride. And my grandparents, my grandmother, who basically ran that whole aspect, was like, we need to get him out of here now. Told my mom to come down here to Akron, get me right now, and bring me up, because she was fearing that I would not make it through the summer. Right? Always been protecting people. And Brother Pittman, and there's a couple other brothers like this, but he was one of the only people that I felt safe around. You know what I'm saying? It's such a comforting feeling to know that you have a comrade at arms that is in it. And it's like the circles are the wagons are circled, and you know that regardless of what goes down, that they have your back. And what we're trying to do with Giammi, and what I'm trying to do with Giammi, and what the family's trying to do with Giammi, and what I'm trying to do with all of the other stuff, is to at least find those individuals that understand the concept of brotherhood, of the circle of warriors, whether you male or female, that is needed to control the perimeter of the village. Because when I got to the place, I didn't even get to see the brother. I'm just saying. By the time I got to the place, those that know Brother Pittmanell, you know what I'm saying, Montague Pittmanell, also known as Fanoaks, if you know the brother, you understand what I mean. He didn't fuck around. He was very peaceful, and he talked with you in a certain way that you understood that when he was talking, he meant business. So I don't know who he took over there with him, but when I got there and I asked the elder, you cool? It's beautiful around here. Yeah. Pittman said, you never have to worry about that brother, and never had to worry about that brother again. Now, and sometimes I miss that, because it's a beautiful thing to have individuals that you can feel safe around. Because I spent my whole life fighting for those or at least I feel that I felt my whole life. You know, we got these myths that we build about ourselves, and I'm 50 now, so I might be exaggerating some shit, but it feels good to have people around you that you know that understand that we are all we got. And by us opening up our borders and allowing anybody in at any time, we put ourselves at risk, because we never know when we're letting a sucker into our midst. A weak link that could come in and just break down at any given time. And in that breakdown, destroy the brother to his right, destroy the brother to the left, or the sister to the left, and leave the whole community wide open for attack. It's becoming more and more apparent to me as I get older, and I know this is part of aging, that it's only a few of us. And those of us that are really in it need to lock our arms and have a way of recognizing other people that are in it with us, especially in the cities that we're in. See, because it's cool to be able to travel and go somewhere else and feel that camaraderie, because you're all in this, usually you're in a safe space where you can feel that shit. But at home, you need to know. I need to be able to look in your eyes and know that when the bullets start flying, the knives start being thrust, the threats are coming, that you are with me. Because for so long I had to be that individual in my circle that if we said we was going to do some shit, I might be there. I ain't know he might. I'm going to be there. But I always had to wonder about where I was going to have to be there. But when Pittman was there, never had to worry about that. And there's a few other brothers like that. And I'm just saying, it's important for us as far as nation building, as tribe building, that we build those circles within our communities that can handle all aspects of community. We need that on the social level, economic level, educational level. You know what I'm saying? And political level, especially political level. Now, the thing that brought this up for me was I was talking to a real good brother, and I won't say his name, although I want to say his name, because I honestly think that he is somebody that could bring a political edge to everything that we do, a real political view of what we can do. But I'm going to respect his privacy because he loves it. He said something to me when we was having a political discussion. And he says, man, with politics, brother, I tell him, what our community don't understand is that we have to have a mechanism in which we can reward our friends and punish our enemies. He said it don't matter whether they black or white. It don't matter whether they what they claim. We have to be able to reward those that are our friends and punish those that are not our enemies. And family, you know what I'm saying? I'm sick of not being there. I'm sick of being able, having to go with people because they need votes and because they look like me. I'm sick of going with people who talk beautiful and shit, but say, look, we can't bring that up right now because, you know, we might not get. I would prefer you not to be elected and have me on the agenda, because the one thing that I have learned on my short 50 years, because it's short when we really think about the struggle of our people, it's short. The one thing that I have understand that if it's on the agenda in secret, in most cases it's not on the agenda at all. When we dealing with our politicians, when we dealing with the teachers that's teaching our children, when we dealing with the economics in our community, if we are not primary in the agenda, if we are not on the agenda, we're not in the agenda at all. And oftentimes they hide us. using words like people of color, urban community. We need motherfuckers to speak directly to us and for us, whether they win or not. Quasi, you on the line, brother? What's going on? I know you biting at the bit. I'm about to look and see who on the chat right now. My chat is fucking up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't I'm not feeling as energetic as I might be feeling another day, man. Today's been kind of a weird ass day.
You want to share some of it? Because you're not the only one experiencing weirdness in the day. I'm just saying.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, some of it was low-key personal. I know it's a young lady named Amber Evans that came up missing today, and I don't know her personally, but she got a lot of shout-outs, and there's a lot of people like searching for her, and there's a lot of people that's in the same and overlapping circles. You know what I'm saying? Like from different perspectives, different sides of the circle, overlapping circles, you know what I'm saying, that's looking for this young lady. So, I mean, I'm thinking about, she been on my mind. Just, I mean, like I said, I don't know her, but I done seen pictures of her with people that I know, and I done seen pictures of her with people that, like, what is it, People's Justice, Aramis' thing, and Aramis and Sister Tammy Fournier.
Right.
She kind of part of that crew. I don't know if she's still, you know how things evolve and everything, but I think I've seen her in a picture with Ness Words who passed, and I shouldn't even say with that connotation, because I don't know anything, but I know that there's a lot of people that's feeling some type of way in Columbus right now, so.
Right.
I just feel it vicariously. You know,
and like I said, I mean, you can belong to our community and do whatever you want. There's no consequences, and that becomes a dangerous place. I mean, especially when you got little girls. When you got little girls, you know what I'm saying? We been in the world. We understand what that shit is about out there. You know what I'm saying? And you look out here and it's like, you know the possibilities. But we have no consequences for motherfuckers violating. And that becomes a very dangerous place, because as men, we have to be able to promote some sense of stability. And it don't have to be economic. You know, a lot of people, you know, where the bag. Those type of niggas, we need to just get them out of our circles. Nigga, listen. You know, because the whole piece is, because if your total focus is just money, what you're telling us is that you're not putting the people first, which makes you one of our motherfucking enemies. Because you can be bought out. You's a mercenary. You'll sell me out. You'll sell my daughter. You'll sell one of my daughters. You'll murder one of my sons because you're a fucking mercenary. We got to be very clear. Because we're moving into a time now where they're trying to lump us into groups where your community or your tribal identity does not matter. We're all the same. When in fact, that is the farthest from the truth. One of the things that's been burning me out, and I've been looking for a way to express this, but the worst thing for capitalism is when the capital becomes conscious. And we have to understand that as black people that's been here, people that could trace back to slave ships, to plantations, to places in the South, even though we don't consider them South, even to the East Coast. The one thing we have to realize is that in America, we were the capital. And in being the capital, we became conscious. And that's a nightmare. for capitalism, because you can't have conscious commodities. You can't have conscious commodities. Excuse me, baby. Excuse me. Y'all got to go somewhere else with that. So, it appears Quasi hung up. The lines are open, 614-556-4535. I can't put it up, but we're going to get straight into the folktale. We're going to get, I ain't going to say straight, but like I said, this is, we're going to do the folktale. We also going to have discussion. Y'all know how we do it here. Can you have that, the empty jug? Let me see. Hold on. Let me show the people. My daughters want to use the empty Cerebral Lux product. They want to use the empty one. We got an empty one. This is produced by a brother in the community. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to show that. Go ahead. Go and use it up. So I'm going to read the proverb. Hopefully we get some more calls in. I can't post up right now because my, I guess my internet's on some bullshit. So I'm going to read the proverb and I'm going to start going in. And then when y'all feel like calling in, once again, the number is 614-556-4535. Okay? So here we go. The title is The Dog and the Cooks. The Dog and the Cook. A rich man gave a great feast, to which he invited many friends and acquaintances. His dog availed himself of the occasion to invite a stranger dog, a friend of his, saying, "My master gives a feast, and there's always much food remaining. Come and sup with me tonight." The dog, thus invited, went at the hour appointed, and seeing the preparation for so grand an entertainment, said in the joy of his heart, "How glad I am that I came. I do not often get such a chance at this. I will take care and eat enough to last me both today and tomorrow." While he was congratulating himself and wagging his tail to convey his pleasure to his friend, the cook saw him moving about among his dishes and said, and seizing him by his fore and hind paws, bundled him without ceremony out of the window. He fell with force upon the ground and limped away, howling dreadfully. His yelling soon attracted other street dogs, who came up to him and inquired how he had enjoyed his supper. He replied, "Why, to tell you the truth, I drank so much wine that I remember nothing. I do not know how I got out of the house." So my chat is down, family. I don't know. So I might have to go in on this one by myself. I don't know what's going on. Let's see if we are up. We are up on YouTube. Shouts out to the people on YouTube. Shouts out to my family out on Facebook. I'm glad that y'all are in here. I can't see the text. So once again, if you want me to hear what you got to say, because I can't see it right now, hit me up at 614-556-4535. You heard the young lady. Once again, 614-556-4535. That's right. Now, my children are up because they closed school early. I mean, like, we didn't even get out of school before I found out that school was closed tomorrow. What's up with that shit? You know? I'm sitting up here like, good grief. All right, so what I'm going to do is, hopefully, I'm giving this damn thing time. I'm going to go and click out. I'm going to play some music for y'all real quick. Because I got something else that I need to get. And then we'll start the discussion. So, let's see what we're going to play. Ashabu came to my office yesterday, so let's find Ashabu's piece. Nope, that's not it. There it go right there.
Brothers and sisters, take a little time to really look at one another and ask yourself, can we really afford to lose one another?
blinded by crack and gun smoke. We must turn that mess around and make the other man choke. Down in flames, like the Hindenburg. One day I opened my ears. You wouldn't believe what I heard. They say your word ain't. See, you promised us great things, but only giving us a little bit. I keep your Star hat as a souvenir. The uncle is dead, but I'm not even gonna shed a tear. See, right now you're the big fish, but I'm the genie in the land, and you get no wish. Usually you get 3, but I'm taking 1 plus the 2 that you owe me. It's so hard to feel proud. While I shed a tear, you're still talking loud. I'll never get on a boat with the man, because it reminds me of that great master plan. Oh, I haven't forgotten the last cruise we took. We ended up picking cotton. You tried to play me out like a sucker, but I survived to take back what's mine, your mother. So it paid your debt to us. Mama so light, cause all the nuts that you busted, you violated our blood and plagued us with acne. So who's the real savage race? Please tell me, what race is really your mind state? So the mess you bumped up is the mess you're gonna have to face. See why I'm so upset? Because you brainwashed my people, talking out the side of your neck. So I just sit back and light up a skin so to deal with the pains and the rage in the ghetto. Tomorrow's gonna bring our heads up filled with these false hopes and dark dreams. The rage in the ghetto, it drives me to chaos. Brothers talk they mess and get tossed. See, deep down inside, I wanna change, but it's hard as hell to remove these chains on my brain. You got me thinking that I'm less than I really am. Put up a 10-foot pole and inhale sand. The rage in my mind, it keeps me from crying, but inside I'm slowly dying. Because I don't know who I am, so I pick up an idol and become his biggest fan. Pattern myself to be just like Jack. I can have a big Cadillac, slinging crack. Invest seriously, and then I start rolling hard, and the rest is history. Bavarian secure, got a few keys and holding G's. Nobody can be trusted. I sit with a shotgun and in my jock strap a small gap because I'm so damn scared. Walk the streets alone at night, I wouldn't dare. Will I make it to 21? I'm only 19, my life has just begun. I got snatched up by the feds, I was slapped around, then assigned a concrete bed, and now I'm behind bars. Yesterday was the last day I would see stars, and now I'm feeling sorry, cause everything I ever did is coming back to haunt me. I'm crouched in a corner, hugging my knees. I'll be 37 by the time that I'm free. I got enough bed sheet, I'll make me a nice little noose and I'm out. One hell of a future. I fell into the hand of the plan and now it's over. The rage inside is still alive, and will survive until I die. And if that's tomorrow, you see, I went alone. My heart was filled with sorrow. It's a shame, though, but it's all because of the rage in the ghetto.
For sticking with me through my technical difficulties. My chat is still not up, so I'm gonna have to go on and try to get it in a different way, because none of None of your comments. Oh, you back? What happened? You hung up on me, man.
Yeah, somebody was knocking on my door. You know, I'm paranoid these days, man.
Yeah, you got to be paranoid, brother. You're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not really... It's only paranoid when you just start automatically shooting at motherfuckers. It's called being... It's called being aware when you just, you know... When you doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? You ain't hurt nobody. You ain't hurt nobody, did you?
Well, I mean, that's why I wanted to get off the phone. I ain't want no evidence. You know,
right. So if you ain't hurt nobody, it ain't paranoid. Hurting you start. You walk by my door 3 times. That's paranoid. So now we're gonna jump straight into the. Let me share the video so I get this off of here. So people been asking me about this, and I wanted to play this video. I'm going to play this video for you. I don't have rights to this video, so, you know. But this is the 2008 Democratic debate. Y'all remember that when we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 motherfuckers on stage wanting to run for president. And this question came up. This touchy question came up. And I want you to listen to the answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 1, 2, 3, yeah. 8 people. 8 people running for president. In a country called the United States. They are politicians. So they at least should be acquainted with American history. But hold on. I want y'all to hear this. And then we'll go on, I swear. We'll go straight back into this folktale. Because I'm the folktale fits in this. Hold on.
Questions from YouTube viewers on race tonight. This first one is for Senator Edwards. Let's listen.
Hello, America. Hello, presidential candidates. This is Will from Boston, Massachusetts. And I hope, you know, they put this question on. It's a question in the back of everybody's head. You know, some people is further back than others collecting cobwebs. But is African Americans ever going to get reparations for slavery? I know y'all going to run around this question, dipping and dodging. So let's see how far y'all can get.
Senator Edwards, no dipping and dodging. Should African Americans get reparations?
Not for reparations. I can answer that question, but I think there are other things we can do to create some equality that doesn't exist in this country today. Today, there was a report that right here in Charleston, African Americans are paying more than their white counterparts for mortgages than any other place in America. Any other place in the United States of America. And here's an example. What is the conceivable explanation for this? That black people are paying more for their mortgages. And by the way, it's not just low-income African Americans. It's high-income African Americans. There's absolutely no explanation for this. It goes to the basic question that I raised just a few minutes ago. To have a president that's going to fight for equality, fight for real change, big change, bold change. We're going to have somebody. We can't trade our insiders for their insiders. That doesn't work. What we need is somebody who will take these people on. These big banks, these mortgage companies, big insurance companies, big drug companies. That's the only way we're going to bring about change, and I will do that as president.
Senator Obama, your position on reparations?
Senator Obama. Hold on, it's Obama. Oh, man, come on.
I think the reparations we need right here in South Carolina is investment, for example, in our schools. I did a town hall meeting in Florence, South Carolina, in an area called the Corridor of Shame. They've got buildings that students are trying to learn in that were built right after the Civil War.
Right after the Civil War? You mean when they fight about slavery?
Teachers who are not trained to teach the subjects they're teaching in, high dropout rates.
That shit normal.
We've got to understand that there are corridors of shame all across the country. And if we make the investments and understand that those are our children, that's the kind of reparations that are really going to make a difference in America.
Is anyone on the stage for reparations for slavery for African Americans?
Anybody?
Are you?
I am. The Bible says we shall be and must be repairers of the breach. And a breach has occurred. We have to acknowledge that.
Wait. It's a white boy. That's for reparations. Hold on.
It's a breach that has resulted in inequality and opportunities for education, for health care, for housing, for employment. And so we must be mindful of that. But it's also a breach that has affected a lot of poor whites as well. We need to have a country which recognizes that there is an inequality of opportunity and a president who's ready to challenge the interest groups, be they insurance companies or mortgage companies or defense contractors who are taking the money away from the people who need it. Yes, I am for repairing the breach. Yes, I am for reparations.
Goddamn.
Senator, I have to ask,
Well, goddamn. President Obama had a term that, we got that.
Us on the phone, we couldn't really hear clearly. What did Obama actually say?
He ain't say shit.
That's what I say. He just went around in a circle with the answer.
Yeah, he did exactly what the brother said that they was gonna do. He ran around and said, well, I think the reparations we need is better education. No, I'm not. He didn't say no. He didn't say yes. And we got to understand that these politicians, we have to be able to reward our friends and punish our enemies. Now, I know this is 2008. He might feel different now. But every other politician from 2019 on, family, if they are not able to look squarely in the face of the question of reparations and answer that question, we need to knock them motherfuckers off of our motherfucking ballots as a community. I'm just saying. And I'm going to connect this. I'm going to find a way to connect this to the fucking folktale tonight. And that sounds like we got the fabulous Miss Tracy on the line tonight. And we got somebody else on the line. Who else on the line?
It's Cynthia.
Sister Cynthia, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing good. Where you been? I'm just joking. But it's good to hear your voice. I know you're doing your own business now. And you got a house. And you got a house that you're rebuilding. I know, I'm just...
we're not building. We are restoring.
Right.
We're in the restoration process. Yes.
All right, so you called in for the folktale. You called in and you got something specifically you want to say?
No, I called in for the folktale, but as I was trying to get my call in, I missed the ending of the folktale. So if we could... I'm
going to reread that. Miss Tracy.
Thank you.
Did you call in specifically for the folktale, or you had something else on your mind?
Well, I got something on my mind that has absolutely nothing to do with the folktale.
You don't know that yet. Trust me, I will connect it. Go ahead.
So, I gave my son his Kingsman hat today.
Mm-hmm.
And he had it on throughout the house. He put it on immediately. We're in the house. He had it on, walking around the house. And then he said, well, I can't wait till I get to school so I can stun on him. He said, so I can stun on him and tell everybody that I know the owner of Kingsman. So I liked how he had that sense of pride about what he was wearing. And that was just something that encouraged me to look more into our own apparel for my kids.
Now, check this out. I'm going to connect the note because I want you to think about this. Now, Martin Luther King was inspired by Gandhi. Gandhi has some leanings that we might not necessarily agree with, but Gandhi had one leaning that was dope because he basically was like, look, I'm going to sit here naked until we as Indians start producing cloth for me to wear. I'm not wearing any cloth that's not done in India. So the same way that your son felt about that hat is in a sense the same way that Gandhi felt about the materials being made in India. And we have to go and start learning to inspire that pride within our folks about our shit when it's really our shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. And are we talking about the young grumpy one?
Talking about what?
The young grumpy one?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, you are.
I love it. I love it. I love it. See, and it makes me feel good that my little brother was able to get something, and he like, man, I'm gonna go stun on him, and I'm gonna let him know that not only do I got the Kingsman wear, I know the King's man. That's dope. That's dope. All right, so now I'm gonna reread the folktale, and we're gonna start the conversation. Anybody else that's out there, because my chat is fucking up. Family, excuse my language. So if you want to call in and join and let us know what you're thinking, the number is 614-556-4535. Okay? If you want to get on an Uber conference through your computer and you can send text directly in through that, you go to uberconference.com/Giami Journey. Once again, that's uberconference.com/Giami Journey. You don't need no pins or anything to get into our call line. Come on and join us. All right, so here we go. It's called The Dog and the Cook. A rich man gave a feast, to which he invited many friends and acquaintances. His dog availed himself of the occasion to invite a stranger dog, a friend of his, saying, "My master gives a feast, and there's always much food remaining. Come and sup with me tonight." The dog, thus invited, went at the hour appointed, and seeing the preparations for so grand an entertainment, said in the joy of his heart, "How glad I am that I came, and I do not often get such a chance as this. I will take care and eat enough to last me both today and tomorrow." While he was congratulating himself and wagging his tail to convey his pleasure to his friend, the cook saw him moving about among his dishes, and seizing him by his fore and hind paws, bundled him without ceremony out of the window. He fell with force upon the ground and limped away, howling dreadfully. His yelling soon attracted other street dogs, who came up to him and inquired how he had enjoyed his supper. He replied, "Why, to tell you the truth, I drank so much wine that I remember nothing. I do not know how I got out the house." Ooh, I'm gonna connect this. Ooh, y'all ain't ready for this tonight. Where my thumb? It's about to go down tonight. Like and share, tell your family, tell your friends. We gonna burn this motherfucker down tonight. All right. Anybody want to go first? Man, my chat still ain't working. I'm so hurt.
My first thought is a question. Why would he lie about that? Why wouldn't he just say, "You know what? I went over there and they, just tell the truth what happened. I got kicked out."
This is, can I say, can I guess your last name? Is this who I think it is, Sister Cynthia?
Yes.
This is crazy.
Greetings. How are you?
I'm good. I was wondering if I was on the line of who I was thinking I was on the line with. I actually had the opposite question. I was like, why would he tell the truth? Because that's the highlight of his life.
Ooh.
Because I said something different earlier on when I typed in something on the thing.
This morning.
I said don't go. Yeah, this morning when I said don't go where you ain't invited. But what the fuck else he gonna do with his life? He's a stray dog. You know what I'm saying?
He was invited.
He was invited by a dog. He wasn't invited by the cook or the chef or the royalty. He snuck. He
was made to feel as though he would be welcome. The dog that invited him gave no indication. He said, "Hey, come eat. We got plenty. More than enough. Come help yourself."
One of the things about the fables, too, I think that they use the animals and the different depictions for a reason. Like, he was a dog. He got a stray dog got invited by a house dog. He was barely in there. Like, If the dog bites somebody, you gonna shoot his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dog is barely in there.
Barely. That dog, the stray dog, was not. See, now, let's
I'm
say
talking about the dog that actually was living there.
Right, the dog, right, exactly. The dog that was living there, that was like, I had a dog, Power. I love Power. But Power couldn't invite a motherfucker to my feast. You can't.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, even though Power is Power, Power's friend is not my friend. Because I'm Power's master. Power is my dog. He's my slave, for lack of a better term. So I think, see, because when we look at these folktales, we got to understand the angle that Aesop was coming from. Aesop, according to the history, was a slave. And he had to teach lessons about the society that he was in without offending those that ran the society. He had to be smarter than them. So by using animals, he diffused his wisdom in a way to where it would be entertaining. You know what I'm saying? What is a dog? You know what I'm saying? A dog is different than a wolf. If we was to walk outside right now and I was confronted by a pack of wolves, they would look at me as a meal. Depending on where we, because more than likely, if I ran into a pack of wolves, I'm in their environment. They might look at me and my children as a meal. If I run into a pack of dogs, a lot of them are looking at me as a potential master. A dog mind state and a wolf mind state are two different mind states. A wolf mind state is that of an independent being outside of human society. A dog's mind state is that of a captive inside of human society, and they're willing to almost take almost anything that we're willing to dish out.
And I was thinking about it too. I like to extrapolate on those stories.
He said extrapolate.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, somebody used that word earlier, so I was like, let me go ahead and throw that into my repertoire real quick. But yeah, I like to think of how the logical expansion of some of those stories might play out. I was thinking, okay, so this dog, it's in his best advantage to say that he was invited in and tell lavish stories, and then maybe over time kind of adjust the story once he got people's ear, and then maybe even turn it to where, you know what, fuck them niggas in that castle. Like, you know what I'm saying? If he got enough people's ear, then he might start his own little movement. Just based off of the fact that he got invited in there and he didn't like the way he got treated, or he got treated okay, but he could do better. We could do better. I've been in there and that shit ain't shit. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But by keeping that lie, he could take that lie and build on it. But he has absolutely no benefit from saying, oh, they threw me out the window because I'm a stray dog.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
But he could build from the concept of truth. They threw me out. See, because I hear, because both angles I think could work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's both angles could work. Now, the reason that he lied for me was that, in a sense, the shame of him being who he is. I'm a stray dog. So yeah, man. I got so drunk, I don't even remember how I got out the damn house. I don't even know why I was screaming in pain and shit. You know what I'm saying? I must have got too drunk and got thrown out. But then on the other hand, I hear what you're saying, Quasi, because, so, I mean, when we look at these, we got to understand. And then also, I want us to go deeper with these and apply these to our lives.
Well, real quick, I want to say that the dog is misleading. He gave them false hope to think that maybe they could get a turn to be to eat a feast in the home.
That's a whole nother angle. Y'all killing me with the angles right now, God. Man. Okay. So he misleading. He's lying. Crazy say he's using it to build up a movement. It's a possibility. And the whole piece is, one, when we start looking at these folktales, they give us a practice field for life.
Right. So when the people he's talking to realize, because his friend is going to tell him, like, his friend is coming up at the moment to say, "Oh man, I'm sorry you got thrown out." They're going to be like, "Oh, okay, you're lying." They're not going to believe anything else. What movement? Because once they find out that he lied, the movement revolution is over.
Yeah, the most likely outcome is that, that was going to be the highlight of his life, and that dog probably was going to die from the injury that he sustained from getting thrown out the window.
Damn.
No, he was fucking. He was all right. He was well enough to tell that lie.
Dark as hell. He just like that mud gonna die from the injury. This motherfucker Hank yanked him up by his forepaws and his back paws and just hoisted this motherfucker about the window. Crazy, he gonna die from his injuries. But the fate of stray dogs, in most cases, are when they do receive a small injury. That small injury grows into something serious because they don't have, they can't do nothing but lick that shit. But now let's go all the way to the beginning, because when we look at the beginning of the story, unless somebody else want to continue with, because Sister Cynthia asked a good question, which is always a good way to start our conversations. Questions, family. We have to start not only with these folk tales, but about stuff that's going on in our life. We got to start framing the questions.
I got another one.
Go.
Why did the dog who lived there think he was comfortable enough? He felt like he was comfortable enough that he could invite a friend.
I bet he told lies too, because they was asking him how that stray dog got in there.
Listen, so we're dealing with individuals that's trying to deal with a messed up reality that they both live in. I'm going to make myself look bigger by inviting you into a place that I have no right to invite you in. And the one that was invited in and thrown out is going to lie about the reality that he was in a place where he didn't belong and he was thrown out. Do anybody know people like this?
I don't know people that have invited me somewhere and then I've been kicked out, but I've been invited places and then I go there, but I don't feel welcome or I feel uncomfortable, like, oh, this is not the place for me, so maybe we can take from that. Just because somebody says, yeah, come on in, we still have to be mindful of, is this the place for us, before we just start getting comfortable. Yeah. Just because we were invited.
Because
I remember this one time.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
I went to this. I was with my cousin. Now my cousin is a savage. You ain't never met this cousin. He a savage for real. This nigga crazy. We went to this party, man, and he like a 3rd degree black belt, by the way. We went to this party. It was on campus. It was a bunch of white people at the party. So we sitting, I'm chilling or whatever. They bring out some food. They bring all this chicken. This nigga ate every last piece of chicken. All of it. And then we left. I don't know what that got to do with the story, but that shit was crazy. I bet they was like, I ain't invite no more niggas to no more parties.
That was,
at least if it's not, it's this chicken.
So this was a stray dog that brought another dog that might bite somebody, and everybody was too scared to get the stray dog up out the kitchen, basically. So that's another story. We'll come to that one next week. That'll probably be the stray dog and the nigger dog that's with him. But go ahead. The big stray dog, because obviously he wasn't a big dog. You know what I'm saying? But he got invited by somebody who didn't really have the right to invite him. See, because that goes back to the point that you said, the first point that you said. But this is why I said it's good to stew on the folk tales. So, now what we're going to do is jamming. Is that we're going to take these folk tales and we're going to put them in a specific order so that we could go through them. Because this is public domain. So we're going to take Aesop fables and we're going to work them. We might modernize them a little bit, and we're going to work it so that we can get the message that we need, or at least shape the message or shape the conversation. Right now, I'm going at somebody else's desired way that it needs to flow. But anyway, now let's look at this. Let's look at this as a tribe, as black people. It's going to be painful. Let's look at this. I'm going to read it again. I want you to think about, first, think about us as a stray dog. Then think about us as the dog inviting somebody else. And then think about us as the cook. And then think about us as the individual that invited. Because when you read these folk tales, we got to be able to put ourselves in these places. And I need people to understand this. The reason I started Folk Tales for Grown Folks was because I believed that my people not only lost the art of storytelling, but lost the art of learning the lessons of the stories. Because a lot of times we get caught in putting ourselves in one position, when in fact you are so great, you are so fantastic, so magnificent, that you are all the characters. And I want you to look at it and look at how it affects us as a community, how it affects you as an individual. Put yourself in all of the positions. Because the stray dog that got thrown out at the end is the focus. But what about if you was the person that was throwing the feast? You was the cook of the feast. You were the dog that invited the person to the feast. Or you was the stray dog that was invited to the feast. And this will give you some perspective on where you are in your life. Because a lot of times people start messing up in life because they don't know where they are. Life is a cycle that goes round and round until the laws of Ma'at unbound. So if you don't know where you are in the cycle, you don't know which law of Ma'at you need to apply. You don't know which Nguzo Saba principle you need to use. You don't know what symbols to grab onto so that you can maximize the moment that you are in. And this is how the society keeps us down. Because we don't know where we are, when we are, or where we are. And if we don't know those things, we can't align the where, when, and the how, the where, when, and why, so that we can be successful in life. If I keep you confused,
yeah, Sun Tzu said, know the battlefield, know the enemy, know yourself. 100 battles, 100 victories.
You're going to win all the time.
Any combination is less than that, then you about to start losing at least half your battles. And we damn sure don't know the enemy. As a collective, we don't know the enemy. We out here identifying with the enemy half the time, more than half the damn time. So if you identify with the enemy, then apparently you don't know yourself or the enemy.
So you know what I mean? And shit.
We got a lot of questions as of our where we even originate from. So I mean,
and like I said, we don't know where, when, why. We don't ask those basic questions. We always gonna end up losing, family. And it's like this. Listen, our ancestors struggled. Our ancestors were the game.
I'm tired of that shit, though, man.
What?
I'm tired of that crutch. I'm tired of, how do we turn that whole shit on his head? How do we,
but
it's almost like Sun Tzu Part 2. We gotta write it.
But hey, we gotta write it. So, because you gotta remember.
Slaughter every fucking body.
What now?
Just go bloodthirsty type shit. I don't know. I'm sick of this shit.
No, but hold on.
Today was weird, too. Man. Today was weird. That's why I feel like I'm trying to kind of make myself laugh right now, because
you got to.
I don't know.
You got to laugh right now because it's painful when you start. Because I'm gonna tell you how to get through it. But listen to me. Check this out, Kwesi. Where you are is where Sun Tzu was when he wrote this shit. This nigga was a postal worker. Motherfuckers don't understand this. People don't understand that Sun Tzu wasn't no motherfucking. He wasn't no general. He was a motherfucking postal worker that was theorizing on the shit. But the shit he said was profound, but he was in a position where he was oppressed, same as Aesop. So what we have to start doing is start creating the thought paths for the next generation or for ourselves that we can start practicing. This is why we came up with Giammi Journey, so that we can start creating the myths to help us get out of this. So we can start looking at the theories and the ideas and start framing our minds and experimenting with it, so that right when we about to die, if we don't get it, we be like, listen, Cleve, Jordan, or any of the other young people that's around us, listen, this didn't work. And be honest with the shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not being honest. See, because the whole piece is, Kwesi, the tiredness that you feel is the tiredness that you're supposed to be feeling as somebody in the battle. Those motherfuckers outside the battle, they don't feel that shit. You're feeling battle fatigue. Because it's like, how do I turn this shit on his head? I'm tired of that. But the issue is we have not really accepted where we are in the motherfucking battle. It's like being in a basketball game, being down 45, talking about, we up ahead, we winning. This the way we do. That's some bullshit. And we got to be honest with it, nigga, we down 45 points. You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, I need to do this, and we gonna make this shit work. But we can't do it if we don't face the reality. People get uncomfortable when we start talking about, listen, we lost this part of the battle. We didn't lose the war. But if we keep acting like we won the shit, we always gonna end up in a bad position. Nigga, I can't beat you in a fight if I'm having illusions while you busting me in my goddamn head. Oh, this next one he might miss. Oh, he didn't miss that one. This next one he might miss. He didn't miss this one. This is what the fuck we doing.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we had a whole... The game is so crazy. Okay, so let me tell you about another reason why I'm weirded out today. I was talking to and even what I was talking to my peoples about, which I don't want to get too much into too many details and shit, but we was having a conversation about some shit, and then it came up with something a purchase that might help us deal with the situation we was both kind of wanted to address. We were talking about some shit that we might need to buy. So, and we wasn't texting, we was on the phone talking. So then I got on Facebook, and the very same shit that we was talking about, not texting about, talking about, was on one of the little advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's happened to me before, too.
That shit is fucking scary.
No, it's not scary. Think about this shit. Think about this shit. Your conversation is important enough for these motherfuckers to be watching. Congratulations. Welcome to the revolution, nigga. Why you down? Why you feel down about that shit? Think about this, Kwesi. You are having conversations that's important enough to get money pulled out of the federal budget so that motherfuckers could watch what the fuck you doing. Congratulations. Welcome, nigga. That's been happening.
I mean, it's not even necessarily me, man. It's like, because I'm aware of that shit, man. But, like, you know, these kids is growing up in it, and they not having a defense mechanism to even be able to question it. So,
wait, time out. This is where we go wrong too. Excuse me for keep on talking, because we got Navita on. We had another call, and I hope I didn't chase them
I was just going. You want to reread the folktale, and then you kind of got sidetracked. That's all I was going to ask you. When you get a chance, if we get back to that, if you could read if you get back to it.
Well, you want me to reread it?
Yeah, because I kind of.
Okay, I got you.
I got sidetracked for a minute.
It ain't no, I got you. That's no, because it's called Folktale for grown folks. We want a folktale. But let me go back to Kwesi's piece. Kwesi, you was explaining something?
yeah, I'd already explained it. You was kind of giving your take on it. I was saying about as far as young people, not necessarily even having any type of defense mechanism.
Yeah, they do
in place because they growing up. I mean, what kind of defense mechanisms can they have if they growing up and their parents are like, okay, so I don't know, maybe the kids that's coming up under our type of tutelage might have that, but it's human nature to be comfortable with what you grew up amongst.
Let me just say, man, listen to me. First off, we can't be worried about all of us. We got to worry about us. Those of us that and there's other elements. There's some people that do recruitment, and there's some of us that does the training to get the young people ready right now. We are the young people's defense mechanism. We go through it and we start letting them know, and it's only going to be a few of them that hear us, and that's what's sad. But the ones that hear us will be the ones that be able to make the major changes, because they are going to be able to adjust in a way that we can't, because they have been born with this shit. I mean, when I came up, nigga, there was no microwave. When you came up, you grew up your whole life, there was a microwave. They growing up, there's microwaves, and they can watch anything they want, anytime they want. So they have already, in a sense, adjusted. All we got to do is make them aware of the fact that, listen, everything we doing is being watched. Everything is being turned into an algorithm where they could track, or a logarithm where they could track you, or whatever that fancy term is. And all we got to do is make them aware of it.
Real quick, my bad. Real quick, I see Demetrius Miller out there. Demetrius Miller, I see you out there watching, man. You always be out there. You always was Sponge, man. That's what's up. I see you, bro.
Man, I just wish I could see. My chat is all messed up. So I'm going to read the story again because Miss Navita is here, and she requested that we read it again. I want to make sure that everybody out there listening know that you call in the 619.
I'm tired too, Shay. Wait for Crystal.
Oh, Lady J here?
It's Lady J. What's up? What to do, boo?
Did you just accept my friend request?
All right.
Oh, you running? You running this tonight, or is that Hatim?
I'm running.
No, I'm talking about. I just sent you a friend request on Facebook.
Oh, you see, I accepted it.
It's so sweet.
Don't you be trying to come for me though.
Listen, family.
Hey, I can't make no promise.
I come in peace. I come in peace.
No, but listen, we got the sharpen each
Wait a minute. What queen is on the line? I hear queen on the line.
We got Navita, we got Miss Tracy, we got Miss Cynthia, and we have to, in a sense. And I know this is gonna sound fucked up, but we have to come for each other because we got to keep the sword sharp.
No.
I wasn't talking about no violence now.
No. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the queens on the line, because whether they comment and support me, or whether they send me a text on my cell phone and support me, I just know that they have my back. So I just want to give a shout out because they are my partners in peace.
Wait, time out. Okay. Here we go. You see this quest. We need another brother to call in to balance this bullshit out, because the lines have been drawn. She just drew the line.
Now.
Who, me? All right, time out. Let me read the folktale so we get back into the folktale. The Dog and the Cook. A rich man gave a feast, to which he invited many friends and acquaintances. His dog availed himself of the occasion to invite a stranger dog, a friend of his, saying, "My master gives a feast, and there's always much food remaining. Come and sup with me tonight." The dog, thus invited, went at the hour appointed, and seeing the preparations for so grand an entertainment, said in the joy of his heart, "How glad I am that I came. I do not often get such a chance at this. I will take care and eat enough to last me both today and tomorrow." While he was congratulating himself and wagging his tail to convey his pleasure to his friend, the cook saw him moving about among his dishes and seizing him by his forepaws and hind paws, bundled him without ceremony out of the window. Basically threw him out the window. He fell with force upon the ground and limped away, howling dreadfully. His yelling soon attracted other street dogs who came up to him and inquired how he had enjoyed his supper. He replied, "Why, to tell you the truth, I drank so much wine that I remember nothing. I do not know how I got out of the house." And that's the end. Now, those of you that's with me on a device where you could go to another window, you could open it up and look up Aesop Fables and look up some of the other, because there's other translations with actual morals at the end. This one in particular by George Fowler Townsend didn't have any morals at the end. But anybody want to go in on any other part of this story?
I do. You can look at it from another angle. You could say the chef, for instance. You know, be careful who you letting into your home, because the mindset for the stray dog was like he hadn't eaten like that, so he was ready to be all the way greedy about it. So from a chef's point of view, he was careful who he let into his circle.
Well, I think that I would argue that the chef wasn't careful enough, because if I'm going to a feast where stray dogs who just walk up into the motherfucking party, I don't know if that's the party I want to be at. What type of cook got a kitchen open enough for a stray dog to walk in? Oh, lazy ass.
So the one that his homeboy basically invited the stray, right?
Right.
Am I the only one that was hoping the chef washed his hands after he threw the blood out?
I hope he washed his hands.
But okay, check it out though. This is just another way of looking at it. I mean, what if the second, the stray that came, I mean, of course he was going to act that way, because he's been deprived of something. So then when you give him that, when that something becomes present, then you're going to take advantage of that, because you don't know when you're going to get your next. I'm a stray dog.
He a stray dog.
Right. You mad at me for doing what a stray dog would do? I might not even get another meal for the next couple of days.
Well, he ain't get a meal for that day. And on top of that,
he sure did. He drank though, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He lied about that.
He lied about that part.
He lied about that. So, I mean, so we know.
Okay, okay.
He ain't one to look bad.
So he really wasn't. So he made that part up. Okay, I thought he was just drunk and really didn't remember. I got it now.
Now remember, he wasn't invited by the master. He was invited by the dog. So we got the dog. We got the master who is doing the whole thing. We got the cook that's working for the master. We got the dog that belonged to the house. And then the dog that belonged to the master, that owns the cook, that owns the dog, was invited 3 levels down. And he's walking through the kitchen. Now, Kwame brought up an interesting point this morning, where this dog came, according to Kwame, but according to what they say, he came right when at the time he was appointed. Now, did anybody else notice that the main dog, because he was wagging his tail to show the dog that he enjoyed it, but there was no mention of the dog that lived there moving amongst the food like this stray dog.
Right. Good evening. Hello, this is Regina. How's everyone?
How you doing today? We doing good. How you doing?
Good. So you're really kind of getting to the point that what resonated with me from the very beginning, and I kind of think it was a setup. So the stray dog, really, the reason why he got thrown out is because, like you said, he was moving amongst the pots. And so that's what made him noticed because he was being a nuisance. So where was his friend in all this to tell him, like, look, this is the house rules. If you're going to come up in here, this is how you got to do it. You can't be in and amongst the pots. You got to wait for the scraps. And, I mean, they're dogs. So surely he didn't come and expect he was going to get, like, the first serving. So in some ways, I kind of feel like, was this a setup? What was the host dog really trying to accomplish? And then also,
I kind of feel sorry for the little dog.
We hear from, like, at the end of the story, the other street dogs are like, how was the party? So everybody already know that this was going on and this stray dog got invited. So in some ways, like, it makes sense that he's going to lie about his experience because he needs to save face. Like, yeah, I went up in the party and we had a blast. In fact, I got so drunk, I got so lit, I don't even know what happened. So I really kind of feel like, was this a setup? And what was the host dog really, really trying to get to? And I would love to hear everyone else's thoughts about that, or, kind of where the conversation goes. I'm not going to stay on the phone, but I am going to continue to listen. But I decided to call in because I couldn't type my comments on YouTube.
Right. And it won't, I still can't get onto my, and I'm paying for this. I'm so pissed off. God damn. But yo, now, so Sister Regina's saying that it's, because when you listen to it, where was the dog that kind of said, hey, man, you do A, B, and C? Because when he originally invited him, it was that after the meal, they would have extras. But this dog it sounded like he came early. It's almost like
he said he came at the appointed time.
I know, that's what's throwing me off. See, because Kwame said that he didn't come at the right time, but he came at the appointed time. So, was it the appointed time for the guest, or was it the appointed time that the other dog set up? But if the other dog set up the proper time, the dog know that it was time for scrap, so it would have been after everybody left. So it's almost like he was set up.
I kind of feel sorry for him a little bit.
I don't feel sorry. Go ahead.
I don't feel sorry for him, but I don't think he was set up. It almost sounds like to me that the dog that invited him, come on, he invited a stranger. You know what I'm saying? I think that dog just wanted a friend because it kind of sounded like he was lonely. Like, basically I got all this, I could get all this food. It's enough to share, and he didn't have
I think he was trying to flex.
Think the dog trying to show off to the stray dog?
Well, he was trying to show that, I got, nigga, I see you out there. Like, he was trying to flex on the stray dog, the other stray dogs, all of the dogs. Right. He was making it known that not only he got access, but he can get y'all stray dog niggas in. But once you in, you ain't gonna see me. Exactly. That's why you said he didn't, because he didn't know. He didn't. The dog that invited the stray dog in didn't want it known that he was the one that invited the dog in. So of course he's not gonna be seen. That's the end of the story for him. He probably off, somewhere kicking it, off in the cut, doing whatever. He ain't trying to be associated with that.
If the chef decided to cook him, then I would say it was a setup.
don't think it was a setup necessarily either way. He didn't necessarily care.
I thought that was what was going to happen. I'm being honest. When I was reading it this morning,
I did too.
I thought
you thought he was going to cook the dog.
I thought that when they say he hoisted him up by his hind legs and his forelegs, I thought he was about to be on the menu. I'm just saying. But
yeah, that was on my mind. That was definitely. I thought from the beginning that there was that somebody was going to be on the menu.
But nobody was on the menu.
This reminds me of a story I heard a comedian tell. This is a true story of where he went to an event that, like somebody Puffy in there. It wasn't Puffy, but somebody of that nature was having. And there were some people standing outside that, were hoping just to get in. And this comedian, he said if he see a few people just standing out there hoping to get in, he'll just be like, you, come on. And then he's like, stay with me. And sometimes I think when people get in situations that they're not used to being in, that they kind of do make an ass of themselves, only because they've been deprived of being a part of a thing. And his homeboy kind of left him hanging, like since he was said, like he was supposed to be like, yo, bro, it's the protocol, came to us in here, you know what I'm saying? You take risks. I'm a stray. I ain't never, seen no buffet and having a plethora of food to choose from. And then, once I leave here, I might not be able to get this type of food, who knows when. So without somebody guiding me, I might go in there and be greedy. Just because I don't know any better. And I felt bad for the brother because I'm like, he just used to having shit.
You automatically went to the brother. It's a dog.
Right.
I hear you.
I think the dog that invited the stray thought he had more pull than what he had.
Right.
I think he thought he was in a position that was an illusion.
I thought that too.
Yes, my question was like, he was fronting, he was flexing in front of everybody like, oh,
he never, where was the host dog when all of this was happening?
Right.
He never came to his defense. He never tried to stop the stray, like, hey man, you can't go in there just yet, hold on. He never even went to check on him after he got thrown out of the window.
Well, we don't know, but he probably had to go back. He had to probably go in the kennel after the chef seen how the stray got in. The other dog let him in. We don't know really what happened with the host dog, but
with the host, now remember.
Can I make a request? Can I make a request?
Request away.
So ironically, I wasn't able to hear when you read the fable or proverb or folktale. I wasn't able to hear, but just from the response alone, I can remember. It seems like I can recall us discussing this before, and I guess that is the luxury. Like when I really think back to how long I've been calling and then disturbing and disrupting, I can vaguely recall this being the topic of discussion. So I just want, now that I'm like alone and I can really, really, really hear, I just want to ask that you repeat it.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
A rich man gave a feast to which he invited many friends and acquaintances. His dog availed himself of the occasion to invite a stranger dog, a friend of his, saying, "My master gives a feast, and there is always much food remaining. Come and sup with me tonight." The dog thus invited went at the hour appointed, and seeing the preparations for so grand an entertainment, said in the joy of his heart, "How glad I am that I came. I do not often get such a chance at this. I will take care and eat enough to last me both today and tomorrow. While he was congratulating himself and wagging his tail to convey his pleasure to his friend, the cook saw him moving about among the dishes, and seizing him by his four and hind paws, bundled him without ceremony out of the window. He fell with force upon the ground and limped away, howling dreadfully. His yelling soon attracted other street dogs, who came up to him and inquired how he had enjoyed his supper. He replied, "Why, to tell you the truth, I drank so much wine that I remember nothing. I do not know how I got out of the house."
I think he came when the guest came.
Oh, so you think he came at the wrong time entirely?
Like the appointed time of, like, maybe he came when the guests were supposed to be invited. He's being invited, not the leftovers.
So I want to share this real quick. So two things. So some time ago, I worked at a job for the county. And there was an individual, when I started, they would say, "Oh, this man is racist." But I thought, oh, no, this man is not racist. You know, this man gives me my days off that I request. This man gives me special assignments. And one day the woman said to me, "Miss Ross, do you think that the slave owners who made babies with the slaves, what do you think about them?" And it caused me to think more clearly about my situation. The second thing was, at some point, I kept being invited by my boss on these different excursions, right? One time she invited me to go out of town, and I said to her, "I've never even been on a plane." And she said, "Oh, Miss Ross." And then I went on the trip, of course, right? Mm-hmm. And then one day she invited this guy who was the first African-American in this school district in South Carolina, first African-American superintendent, and she invited me to dinner with him because he was going to be our special guest. And so I arrived, and I looked at the table, and I noticed the other people she had invited. And I noticed that I was I was a little bit different from them. So when I was discussing this, they said, "Ms. Ross, it seems like she may have invited you so that you may hang yourself, or maybe that she wanted to see how you would operate in these different environments," right? Mm-hmm. Needless to say, I passed the test. But to say that she invited me with the intent or with the suspense or with the understanding that she would put me in an environment that would allow me to not be comfortable, right? So her intention was not to invite me so that I may enjoy myself, per se. Her intent was to invite me so that I may be like a fish out of water, and so that I may reveal myself as someone that was not comfortable or not suitable for the crowd that she had surrounded me with. But little did she know, certain people, us people, we become well suited for code switching. We are masters of that, right? Mm. So I figured it out. So it wasn't like she could throw me out, or it wasn't as if I would reveal myself someone unsuitable for the occasion. But in fact, that I would present myself in a manner that would let her know that, that I'm very well adaptable. And I think that is sometimes what we have to be cautious of. We may think that someone is inviting us into a situation because they think that we would do well, or they think that we would enjoy ourselves, when in fact they wanted to see if we're able to, adapt. They want to see if we're able to. They want to see if this occasion would be that occasion where we would prevail ourselves, or reveal ourselves, right?
You said an initiation.
And so I think that we have to be cautious. Just because someone invites us to a party, it's not always because they want us to enjoy, but sometimes because they want us to be that so entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't know the difference, if we are not able to distinguish the difference, we will not be able to discern and then act accordingly. So I don't know. Just the dialogue, and like I said, I can recall us discussing this very folktale in the past. I can remember it, but now today, that's what it makes me think of. Is that sometimes you have to be cautious. Sometimes people are going to give you an appointment, and it's not because they think that you will avail, or not that they think that you will prosper, but that they would think that you would be entertainment, and that your failure will provide that source of entertainment, right?
Okay. All right. So let me read some of these comments because I'm up.
Then can I chime in a little bit?
Who's it? Oh, Brother Shaka? Yeah, of course. But hold on, let me read the comments because we got Sister Jackie online and she will call me and cuss me out. She's shaking her head because she heard this and she said, I have been invited and kicked out. And it was family. She trying to make sure that we see her. That's the comment I got. But the chat is open now. So chats are up, family. So we keep the discussion going. So we some people say that it was a setup, but now I don't want
malice behind what the lady inviting Jay, so she thinks that there was really malice behind that invite. It wasn't
right. I mean that's in a sense a setup because now, but also she kind of described it as possibly an initiation, and with a lot of initiations, what we don't understand is that some initiations. Well, initiation is to see if you're worthy to even be part of the group. So they would invite you, and maybe the dog was out of protocol, or the individual that was invited to the party was out of protocol. Miss Tracy called it being out of time, being out of sync, and not being where he was supposed to be where he was supposed to be there. Because let's think about this: when you throwing a party, if you got a cook, the master had a cook. He's not throwing a damn party in the kitchen. So we got a whole nother room of people out there, but then the dogs are in the kitchen. And the dog said, come sup with me, because after the feast, we can eat. He there while the food is still being cooked. So there is signs that he was there out of place and out of time. He was in time for the party, but he was not on time for when he was supposed to be there, and he was not doing what he was supposed to be doing. He didn't fit in. And we could go so many directions with this in our personal life. But, Shaka.
Right.
Go ahead, man. Or somebody else is on. Shaka. Shaka.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, real fast, I just wanted to zoom right into this. We deal so much with the relationship between the dogs and the master. And I ain't gonna lie, like I had to read the proverb myself, and in doing so, I had researched a little bit in terms of the said moral. And
good job.
It has,
I mean, I say great job because I wanted somebody to do that.
Yeah. So, and just so, because I think that if I read check this out. It's only one little line. It says, "Love me, love my dog," says the old proverb, and there's somewhat of good manners as wed of good nature in it. For there are certain decencies of respect due to the servant for the master's sake. So in that, I draw my attention to the cook and to the stray, because you're not going to throw the master's dog out because he's familiar, and there's a certain protocol in that in terms of respect. But the guest of the dog and the servant. Now, in the proverb, when it says the servant, are they talking about the dog or the cook? Because the cook had every right, I imagine, to throw that stray dog out, especially he's sniffing over the guest food, right? Mm-hmm. He don't know that dog. You don't want this unfamiliar, whatever, disease, manged, homeless. Nah, you out of here, buddy. But I don't know. That's just what I take from it. It's a thing of respect, and you know, and even after reading that, it's still kind of gray of who we you know, who we're putting before. Who was offended by throwing that stray dog out the window? Were the other guests influenced at all by that behavior?
Not at all.
Or was not at all?
Not at all.
Was the dog? What was the dog that invited his? This? I mean, because the thing is that the fact that the dog had a reputation of inviting, it's a behavior. It's a thing of manner. So I think that's what it's drawn to, is the manner of it, not that he had any intention beyond that. It's just that's the way that this dog was brought up. I'm gonna bring a friend to the party and bless them as well. I don't know.
Now check this out. Shaka bring up a good point, because there is other versions. This is from George Fowler Townsend, and there is a Leah Strange version. Let me read that.
Yeah.
A gentleman invited a friend to supper with him, and the gentleman's dog was so well bred as to invite the friend's dog to come for company. The dog came at his hour, and into the kitchen he went, see what good cheer was toward. But as he was there, wagging his tail and licking his lips, at the thought of what a meal he was like to make on't, the regard cook got slyly behind him and spoiled his jest. He took him up by the tail at unawares, and after turn or two in the air, flung him out of the window. So soon as ever the poor devil had recovered the squelch, away he scampers, bawling like mad, with I know not how many prick-eared or yours at the heels of him, to know how he liked his welcome. Why, truly, say he, they have given me as much drink as my skin will hold, and it has made me so lightheaded I could not find a way out of the house again. So once again, even in that one, with all the strange language, this motherfucker is lying. There is nothing about him drinking. Thus disappointment and confusion reward an impotent intrusion. So when you break into something, or when you come into something, Shaka like to use the word protocol. There's a protocol in when you going into someone's kitchen, whether you are invited or not. You don't just start smelling pots. You know what I'm saying? You just don't. I mean, because like, I'm quite sure all of us got individuals in our lives that you would. I got certain parties that I go to that I know who to take to and who not to take to. Because I know that certain motherfuckers will go and intercede in discussions that they don't even need to intercede in. You know what I'm saying? And just cause all types of fuckery. Because I'm old enough to know that. You know what I'm saying? I've been like that. I know where to take certain people and where not to take certain people. Because it's like I have certain friends that are volatile. So when I mix brother A with brother B, I may lose two brothers in that process. So it's sort of like knowing where you fit and knowing how to operate in places when you go. Like Lady J said, if she did not know how to operate or know the protocol of the place that she was in, if she did not code switch, she would have been a laughing stock, or she would have been embarrassed or removed from the room. You know what I'm saying? And it's like for all of us, we got to know when we go into a strange place, we got to observe the rules so that we know how to stay in the room. Because that dog was in the room and he was able to stay there. Why was he able to stay there? Because I'm imagining, because I had a dog, his name was Power. But if Power licked me in my face, his ass would be outside for 2 days. I would fuck Power up. I love my dog, but you cannot take them dog. You cannot lick on me. Period. He know the protocol. But if I was to bring in a young puppy or bring in a stray dog, that stray dog might not know the protocol. And because he licked me, you know what I'm saying, he might continue being a stray dog. Matter of fact, there were a couple of stray dogs in the short north because them motherfuckers wanted to lick. I don't do that shit. Obviously, you come from another household where y'all can French kiss and shit. We don't do that at Jimmy House. What?
You said French kiss.
You ain't never seen nobody French kissing. You ain't never seen that shit?
Yeah, I've seen white people do that before.
Oh, I didn't want to say it. I'm just saying. That shit was not allowed at Giammi House. You can lick a hand every now and then. But when you start licking my kids and licking me in the face, we got problems. I don't care how you. That's not the protocol in this house. We don't do that shit. Power never licked Cleve in his face. Never. And he never licked one of my little babies. I love you, but you need to find a new place to stay. Power was successful at that shit too, for over 20 years. He knew the rules, but if we could bring a stray dog in, they didn't know. Hey, come on over here, chill with us. So when you go,
I guess you can't bring the hood brother with no coots and don't know how to code switch.
Right.
You can't bring him to the party or her to the party.
And even with us going into like political events and stuff like that, do we know the protocols? Maybe we need to send a dog in there to know the protocols. Maybe we need to send a brother or sister in there to know the protocols to handle that for us, which is what other communities do. So,
can I say something?
Lady J, just say
it.
Stop
cause a
riot. Stop.
But that's why I want to implement.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say something that's going to cause a disruption, but that is exactly why white people chose Obama. It is by design. It is by design that we would they would invite Obama to such an occasion. Now, you know, or you may not know, and it may see how Tim, you know, where my political views lie and where I align at, and it may not be where people would predict, you know what I'm saying, but you know me. And so when I think about how it is that we came to have a black president, when in fact we still had a legislature that was still being put in place in the 1960s that would allow people to vote
You feel what I'm saying? And it will remove the barriers, and we go from 1965 all the way to 2000, whatever, right? And in reality, you know, yes, that was a significant amount of time between the end of slavery and presidency, but it wasn't a significant time between the right to vote for many people in the South and presidency, right? That wasn't a significant amount of time. So how was it that came to be? And that is because the correct Negro was chosen, or whatever we were. You know, some people don't want to even acknowledge that this man was black, but it was because
I don't know if you want to go there, Lady J.
I'm just saying, some people don't want to acknowledge that you know, they'll say that president, it wasn't even black. But I'm just saying, things don't happen without design.
I agree.
Things don't happen. Things don't happen without design.
You need to have the protocol. You said Obama had to. You said
if and I'm just throwing this out. If Barack was the shade of his wife, that probably would have never happened.
You right.
It wouldn't have happened.
You right.
So it was much easier to put someone in that position where we were at liberty to question his race, right? Not even where we at liberty to question his race, but these people also questioned whether or not he was actually a citizen, right? They asked for his papers, his proof. You know what I'm saying? All that was by design. All that's by design. So when we talk about inviting individuals to a party or to a dinner or to an event, and somebody who may, because we're talking about, we're talking about the master was put on the occasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the dog invited his friend. It wasn't like the master invited the dog.
Right.
The dog of the master invited his friend to the party. That's by design. You know, and let me say this. I recently, my kid, so you know, the students that I teach is a different type of, the education I provide, not even the education, but the conversation that we have is a little different than what I would have in a classroom where I'm teaching African American students, right? So there's a classroom in my building, and they're reading Frederick Douglass' autobiography right now. And every chance I get, I go into their classroom to the point where it's come to the point where these kids seek me out and they let me know when they're going to be in this woman's classroom so that I can come in, right? And I'm loving it, right? So at some point in this text, he talks about how the fact one of the concepts that are constantly being revisited is the irony. And it talks about how these slaves would fight amongst each other over whose master was better. Right? And so now we have to come to the kids with the word irony and discuss with them the perplexity of this idea that you are enslaved, that you are being beaten, that you are being abused, but yet and still, you, instead of uniting over the fact that you are both suffering from oppression, you would prefer to fight over whose master is better.
My master better than yours.
My master better. My master got more money.
No, he don't. Your master ain't got no more money than mine.
No, my master owned more slaves. My master's plantation is much larger.
I got on Gucci and you got on whatever. That's the same.
But we all poor. Right?
Right.
We all in the same situation. But we
because my master better than yours. Nah. I ain't no better. I'm in a better situation than you. My master better.
We still into that same system with that same enemy, but want to be distracted by things like arguing over, the latest
that
that came out, and you know, and that's your master. Or so many
preoccupied preoccupied with all things that don't matter. Preoccupied with all things that don't matter. Instead of us focusing on the big picture, right? We would prefer to focus on all things that don't matter. And so, just with the discussion, that's what that reminded me of. It reminded me of Frederick Douglass's critique and his observation of the experience and what I would call, like, at that point, the black experience, right? You know what? But again, we've just stated that we can bring this right now to surface, and we know that this continues to occur today.
Somebody else was about to say something. Go ahead, Navita.
Yeah, even with the dog situation, the dog bringing his homeboy, and his homeboy ain't know how to act. He done came to the dinner all before it was time, and shit, he all out of pocket, protocol, whatever. I think that it's important that we teach our homies how to get on protocol, because as black people, for sure, we have many facets and we wear many faces. We may be this way at work, but then I'm this way when I'm at the warrior training class, and we have to learn those adaptations to move around in this system. And dude, the homeboy, he didn't learn the protocol. He didn't learn those adaptations. So
but
once again,
I have a
he's back out there.
This is my question, Navita.
Mm-hmm.
What right do a dog got to invite another dog to the master party?
Well, I feel like this. You got if he want to. I mean, according to the master's rule, he may not have that right. But if I could, I'm the type of person. I'm going to be the dog that invited the person. If I could sneak you in and get you in, and I can get you some food, I'm going to do that, because that's just how I'm cut. I'm a sneak. Now you done fucked it up.
Right.
You got put out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I might not have the right to do it. But because you were in my tribe, you the homie, I see you out there struggling. I done made my way in this mother. It's time for me to try at least give you a little bit of the pie. I'm gonna try to get you something. I ain't gonna just sit there and watch you starve and not be able to. I can sneak you in if you know how to do the. You know what I'm saying?
You know how to do
follow the protocol.
But
he
now,
should have got in, but he should have taught him though.
But hold on, here's another question: if they know the master's dog, and they know what the master's dogs look like, what proper protocol could a stray have to stay in the kitchen?
He was supposed to lay low, really, because he told him after the party is over, my brother, we're going to get our girl on and shit.
So a stray dog.
He couldn't wait.
So, he couldn't wait. So, as a stray dog, because a stray dog is not allowed, shouldn't be allowed in the goddamn kitchen. I'm kind of concerned about the food safety at this motherfucking party when the dog will be.
Well, the people done eating now. So
no. He would remember the cook was still cooking.
But I'm saying at the end, that's because he was out of pocket. But if he would have followed the game plan, there was supposed to be food left once they were done. And so they then would have been able to partake. So there wouldn't have been an issue of food contamination because they was done. You know what I'm saying?
So what about this? The dog that was in the party was the tribe. The stray dog was the rest of them niggas. So fuck them niggas. They fucking up. They don't know how to act, and they gonna get the tribe throughout.
I mean, that's a scenario too. That is a scenario too, Quincy. But he should have told homeboy like, "Yo, you need to chill the fuck out, bro." But if they see you in that kitchen beforehand, I'm just gonna let you know right now, they gonna kick your ass out. But like Quincy said, there's some that just don't know how to act. You just couldn't even wait. Hold up.
Hey, tribe don't eat from the master's hands. Tribe is the master.
I mean, the metaphor. I was aware of that. But just keeping, trying to, because however you want to slice it, the dog that invited the stray dog in knew the stray dog and knew that the stray dog wasn't going to stick to the plan. He knew what kind of dog that dog was.
You said they know what type of dog.
But he wanted to try to save that dog. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-oh. So some motherfuckers just shouldn't be invited.
Because look, he went right back out there and was on some straight dog shit. I was drunk.
Right.
Like, nigga, you know what a drunk nigga looks like? You ain't drunk. You look like you just got through out a window.
So again, I think that I think that the key or one of the major pieces is that sometimes people are going to set you up or put you in a position to fail.
That could be true too. That's another way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to put you in a position and anticipate your failure. I remember, true story. I had a friend, I fell out with her years ago, and yesterday it came to fruit. And once again, I used to be 300 pounds, right? So she and I go to the Taste of Chicago. And if you know what the Taste of Chicago is, like our rib fest, right? But with more variety food. So while we go there, and we're there, you guys, she makes a comment that this is why you don't lose weight. I'm looking, I said, well, damn, we got on the road, drove 5 hours for us to eat. Now you want to critique what I'm eating, right? That became my motivation. She didn't invite me as if to say, let's have a good time. It seemed like you invited me so that you would have an opportunity to critique me so you could feel better about yourself. And that's what happens. We about dogs. The only difference is I'm a stray dog and you a freaking dog, right? You a cat dog. So now for me to come, for you to invite me, it's not because you really want me to enjoy myself. It's so that you will feel better about your situation. We have to be mindful. We have to be mindful. So when people are putting us in positions, we have to be mindful that it may not be that they're putting us in a position to enjoy ourselves or to succeed or to excel. But it may be that they're putting us in a position so that we may fail so that they can feel better about their situation. Because at the end of the day, again, it is the master. The master is putting on this event, not the dog. How you even invite anyone?
Ooh.
You a whole dog.
So it's a possibility that dog could have invited him to realize how good he really got it. In order for him to know how good he really got it. In order to know how good he got it, he needed to see somebody thrown out every now and then. But as Quasi said, when that motherfucker got thrown out, he was on some straight dog shit, so he couldn't prevent, because he was caught up in his lie and his pride. He couldn't prevent nobody else from being invited to receive the same treatment and possibly become the meal the next time. Because he lying, oh man, we kicked it, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying, Ryan, being honest, this motherfucker set me up. I came in at the appointed time, because I want y'all to think about this. He didn't know when the party started for the master. Well, he came at the appointed time that the dog told him, up the appointed time. He went on time, and he wagged his tail to let the other dog know that he was enjoying himself. So there's a possibility that he could have been straight set up. Some of us is out here as straight dogs getting set up, family. And we got to stop this shit. But hey,
for people to feel better, people to feel better about themselves. What I didn't say is that my girlfriend was extremely skinny, right? She was extremely skinny, and so for many months she had been trying to gain weight, whereas for many months I had been trying to lose weight, right? So that situation gave her an opportunity to comment on things, but what I later learned is while she was critiquing me on saying I was too fat, she was wishing that she had a couple pounds or two. You know what I'm saying? My situation she put me in a position where she could feel better about herself. in her predicament.
Well, I'm gonna make.
I think at the bottom line. At the bottom line, we gotta realize that we are all of them.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
one of us is every one of those characters, and anything that we can glean from the situation is something that we need to take into consideration. Because at different points, even thinking about our plight as people lost in the wilderness, we all have some sort of awareness of us coming from some semblance of greatness. And we all have an idea of us returning to greatness. And we are obviously aware of the fact that we are not presently being upheld as great.
Right.
So all of those different things apply. We have to think about how we got here, where we at, how we get where we're going to be. So all of those different scenarios got wisdom for us.
All right, family, this is what I'm going to do. First off, let me do this. Family, I want to thank you for joining the Congregation of the Mighty in this great discussion. This is the Army Journey Media. Great job, Anime. This is a Heart of Some production. This is Folktales for grown folks. We strive to blow up your old paradigms. Don't give each one of y'all an opportunity to give your closing statements, and we are out. It is after 11 o'clock. I need to get up and do the toast, even though we ain't got school tomorrow. But a lot of people got to go to work, so I want to get up and be able to do the toast at the regular time. And tomorrow will be a beautiful Ujima. Right now, we close.
Can I say goodbye, Tim?
Ain't that what I just said, woman? I just said
your closing remark.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out of here. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Everybody get a closing remark. Handle your business. Gross closing remarks.
Okay, I just want to say, remind everyone that we are in the midst of the Great Awakening. Do something today and every day that is in support of the movement. You can read a book or article, donate to a cause, or volunteer your time or services to a social media. Donate your time and your services. And I want to remind you that our recreation centers, I'm sure all over Ohio, in all kinds of different places, cities, districts, whatever, are looking for people to come in and teach their students, their young people, some of the things that we learn, be it double dutch, dodgeball, curveball, or agriculture, horticulture, music, dance, whatever. I remember, I come up in the Sullivan Gardens in the west side of Columbus. And I remember feeling like I didn't understand why people felt sorry for me when I told them I was from the project. I felt like I had the best of everything. I did African dance, I did tennis, I did basketball, anything that there was to do, I did. I twirled the baton every year in the 4th of July parade. And everything that I did, I was able to excel at. And I was so privileged. And it's unfortunate that our students, our young people who are of age, are not able to participate in those same things. They're not able to just experience those same things. We need people at the recreation centers. We need people that donating their time to the young people so that they will have the experiences that we had experienced. We know that this is not the same day and ages, but it's still the same opportunity. Get out and provide the opportunity for our young people. So I want to encourage you to donate your time, services. I want to remind you that we are in charge of our social media outlets. So that is our platform. Continue to promote and share images that are positive, not those that perpetuate the stereotypes. Remember that it is important that we participate politically, whether it is voting, whether it is signing a petition, whether it is marching, or participating in a peaceful protest. This day and every day, we have the opportunity and the right to boycott. The more money we keep in our pockets, the more money we have. So with that being said, if we want change, we have to learn how to keep more of it in our pockets. Again, I just want to thank you, Tim, for providing the platform and opportunity to reach out
to provide an opportunity for people to come back and read and listen and hear what's going on. This is an awesome thing that you provide. So there it is. That's my closing message. If we want change, we have to learn how to keep more of it in our pockets.
Thank you, bro. Question, you on there?
Lady
Go live
J.
there, German.
Is that Lady J? Yeah. Share some of that. Whatever you got. I want some. And one more thing. Go to bed, Anime.
She can't go to bed till after. Because she got to get up, too. And she better be on point. And she better eat the egg roll, Anime. All right, family, I want to thank y'all for joining us on J.I.M.E. Journey. Make sure you like and share. Join the Black Signal. We got the mall coming up. We got warrior training coming up this week. Because we ain't scared of the goddamn weather. I don't know what's going on with the school system, but we ain't scared of the goddamn weather. All right, family. Y'all have a good night. And I will see you.
You full of it. Negative 30 degrees. That is unheard of.
What?
I'm scared, Hatim. I'm very afraid. Negative 30? And we don't know that these people are genetically geoengineering the weather. This is unheard of. Negative 30. That's my closing remark. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say anymore. Negative 30.
Negative 30 what? Straight degrees or
negative 30 wind chill.
Wind chill?
Negative 30
how long
wind chill.
motherfuckers been measuring wind chill?
Man, let me tell you this, Hatil. Every time I turn around, people talking about what they did when they was growing up. I don't remember any of this. And I'm going to admit that part of it is because that these people have been changing the trajectory of our neighborhood school. So I was bused from my neighborhood all the way to a whole other neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? I don't remember this.
You have to wait on that bus.
I don't remember this. But there's no way there's just no way. There's just no way. Negative 30 wind chill. Come on now.
What's the wind chill right now?
I don't know. And it's not even that cold outside. I was just out with friends.
Exactly.
Participate
I bet you tomorrow. I bet you tomorrow some shit popping off. And it's 30 degrees.
I ain't gonna leave my house tomorrow. What do you mean?
I'm gonna leave.
But I know that y'all didn't experience. Do you remember this when you were young in 1919? Do you remember
I had a jerry curl and I used to walk to school and the shit would freeze before I got there. Every time I walked to school in the wintertime, I had snot freezing in my nose and I couldn't breathe through my nose because I had to breathe through my mouth.
Hold up.
Negative 13. Negative 30.
I said you was old because I said the Cold War was in 1954, but you gonna let her get away with 1919?
Listen, I'm so used to her insulting me. You was new.
Crazy. Now we're friends. We can roast him together. 1919.
Let's do it. You gotta invite me out for spirits then next time because you feeling it.
Hey, I'm serving the spirits. Every Friday, Sunday, and Monday. You can come and we can have the most enlightening conversations and debates.
Oh, stop.
At my place.
What days again?
That is every Friday, every Saturday. Every Friday, every Sunday, and every Monday.
You know what?
I am serving.
It's Wednesday.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
No, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. I was there last night.
What day is it, Quincy? You Gianni, ain't you?
It's Coochie Chagalia.
You Gianni, right? Because that's 21.
I'm gonna do some of these. I'm gonna do these push-ups in my sleep. In my imagination. Right, but I want to say, Tim, if you come to see me, we have a whole patio that is at your disposal. You can set up shop. I'm giving you approval right now.
I don't know, man. Where's this at? Oh, we'll talk about it in person.
This is at the Pure Ultra Lounge. I'm serving up spirits there. We're pouring libations, pouring out a little liquor for our homies. You know.
I don't know if you want me to do a show while I'm really liquored up. I don't know.
I'm telling you, I got you. And starting in February, every other Monday we have open mic. So we're gonna have poetry. We're gonna have spoken word. We're gonna have any type of performances that you want to put on.
You don't want me to get me and the old crew out there, because all of them old as fuck now, and we turn shit out. We drink up the bar.
I'm inviting you all out.
I don't know if you ready for it, girl. You ain't ready for it.
I just said I'm inviting you all out. I want you to keep your side gig, baby. I'm the only one pouring the spirits that day.
Oh.
So you want to come out and you want to have a good time, and we want to take over, and we want to spread our propaganda, get our message out. You know, I'm enjoying the
show, right? So
who hosts it?
Yeah, I anticipate you joining me for spirits and good conversation and dialogue and poetry and all that other good stuff on Mondays. On Mondays, mindful Mondays.
No, we can't do that. I can't do. How you gonna have all? I can't do that on the Mojo. I can't do that. Not on the Mojo.
Well, you can record it. You can record it. You can highlight it. You can record it. You can highlight it. You can speak up at the next day. You can also come out on a Sunday. But again, I invite you all out to share energy with me. Because it's not a day that goes by that we're not talking about the movement. You know what I'm saying? I just look like this, but I'm ready for the revolution any and every day.
Except when we're going out to the woods.
This place is across from Afrocentric School, which is just so telling.
You're talking about the old, what you call it? What that place used to be called?
It used to be called the Get Shot Lounge. That's what it used to be called, the Get Shot Lounge.
There ain't none of that. It's all nothing but older.
I know now because they took all this shit out. It's cool. It's cool now. It's now,
it's nothing.
But I can't do it. I can't do it on the Mojo. I can't do it on the Mojo unless we got a day off. I come out on the Mojo when we got a day off.
I can't speak for other nights, but I'm going to say on the nights that I work, we have Neo Soul Sundays. We have Old School Mondays, and like I said, we got Open Mic Mondays where you can come and be mindful and turn it into Mindful Mondays. Yeah, all of that.
Oh, okay. So we'll set something up. So we'll get working on that. Now, also remember the G&J Mall will be popping off on February 23rd. We're looking for vendors right now, and we want to get the word out so people come out and know that you're going to be able to come and shop with us. We got a whole lot of space, so we need a whole lot of vendors. Come out, help us raise funds. Help yourself raise some funds by making your merchandise available to the community and help get the lifeblood or the economic blood flowing through the community. You can't have no community if you ain't got no economics, family. So I'm calling y'all. You know what I'm saying? As Lady J say, if you want to make more, what you say? If you want to make change, you got to keep more of it in your pocket. And one way to keep it in your pocket is to spend it with some folks that's in your tribe. So bring your ass out and let's kick it. But I'm going to get up off of here. I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. Everybody took the time to listen to my show. I am humbled and I am in love with each one of you. I lift up my glass, and I lift up my glass for you in the morning to let you know that you are the greatest, most magnificent, most inspiring individuals on the planet, because we are the congregation of the mighty. I'm out. Peace.